What if I told you that soil health doesn't matter? What if I told you that regeneration doesn't need a revolution? What if I told you we don't need a revolution at all? We know industrial agriculture is degenerating our ecology, our economy, and life as we know it. We know it can't long endure. Drive down any rural community and you will see social, ecological, and economic degeneration right outside of your car's window. Right now, you can turn on the TV, open up Amazon or Netflix, or open up social media, and you are being pitched what perceives to be a new story. We can regenerate the soil when industrial agriculture depletes the soil. We can sequester more carbon per acre than we emit, whereas industrial agriculture just emits carbon. But is regeneration really that much better? Yes, we can improve soil health. Yes, we can sequester carbon. Yes, regenerative agriculture can increase biodiversity. But yes, we can do all of these things through enslaving or depleting our neighbors. In the 1920s, we had the production of corn at all costs. The number of bushels per acre were maximized for production's sake. In the 2020s, what's different? We are optimizing the soil to store not bushels of corn, but tonnage of carbon. We are still pushing for production. We are still telling ourselves a very old and tired and degenerative story. Right now, regeneration as the positive alternative, ecologically, economically, and socially, is being fit into the mold of industrial agriculture, and that mold is production. It's production at all costs. This is the industrial food system, just with the word regenerative slapped on top of it. Right now, the regenerative story is a model of the old system.
If you don't really understand the stories and the experiences that the farmers have to go through, the hardships that they have to go through to get that food to table, it begins to remove us from the planetary challenges that we're facing. And it lessens our ability to feel compassion and love for our greater humanity. And that's why we have the troubles that we have today.
So many consumers think that farms are supporting them.
Yeah.
And I think what I would like the consumer to know is that the farms need supported by the community.
Yeah.
This isn't a one-way street.
No, it's a give and it's a take. And if we don't have the give coming back to us, it's not gonna work.
If you actually do the research, farmers are one of the highest suicide rates in any career profession. The isolation, the sheer financial burdens that they take on, the amount of physical pain, strife, challenges that their body takes day in and day out.
Agriculture is not the problem, it's the culture surrounding the agricultural system that is the problem. So regeneration as a part of that narrative can never be better. Regeneration, to be actually regenerative, to not have a solely agricultural problem, needs to co-create a new narrative. We need to destruct the old food system and build something entirely new, on new paradigms, with new minds, on new communities, with new thought, with an entirely new story.
The regenerative food movement has tapped into something that a really needed aspect of our culture. But because they've tapped into that, that's gonna also be really quickly exploited by something to sell. It gets to be a really big gray area that's a marketing technique.
This grocery store mentality, it forces producers to produce.
Yeah.
Which is the most degenerative aspect of degenerative commercial farming.
Yeah.
This idea of production at all costs.
I love that phrase, production at all costs, because it's not what it should be.
Regeneration and its agriculture are trying to fit nutrient-dense foods in the industrial food model, where food is still being shipped 3,000 miles, where food is still being produced by only big, large land owners.
And so when people move at the pace of capitalism is when you just start to play into the regular systems that have broken down our society for hundreds of years.
Farmers today, your local farmers work 87 hours a week farming and 37 additional hours a week marketing. We can't even get marketing companies to work 37 hours a week. And your farmers are doing it on average on the weekly on top of everything else that they're doing.
Yeah, it's hard. We're tired. It's exhausting. We come home at the end of the day and you just want to go to sleep. And oftentimes you can't because you have to do the other work that's not the outside work. Come on, ladies.
Just as a small operation without a marketing team and a big marketing budget and all of that, I feel like I'm at my limit with that.
Right now we have regenerative agricultural organizations and corporations retailing and selling and building systems around the idea of soil health, carbon sequestration, increasing biodiversity, but they're doing it in degenerative systems that are no different and a part of no different story than the industrial paradigm of control and production at all cost.
Big picture is not trying to integrate this model into the existing system, right? It's let's create a new system. Let's create a new process and a different way to do things. And how can we do it where we're growing good animals, healthy animals, but not shipping them across the country or across the world, right? Let's sell them to our neighbors and our friends and family that live near us.
Regenerative agriculture is part of the problem because it eradicates the human element from our agricultural systems.
Just the regeneration of the land, of people, soils, your soul, health, all of that it's so intertwined that it's just not you're regenerating soil. I mean, there's so much more to it than that. It's not just about soil and putting carbon back in the soil.
There's this bigger global shift that needs to happen, and a lot of it lies within the farming and agriculture industry.
There's an incredible resource around we could build, which is a local farming network and knowing where your food comes from.
There is a big push in the modern world to scale regeneration. Human-scale agriculture is the imperative that we don't need bigger farms. We don't need more bigger farms. We need more smaller farms. Said another way, we need to scale the regenerative agriculture movement by keeping it small. Human-scale farming undermines the degenerative mindset of the industrial food system. Human-scale producers operate within the pace of nature and within the context of their own landscape. Human-scale farming is a transition from a dependence on industrial systems into an interdependence between everyone.